1938. Planes flew at 180 kilometers per hour, and a steam train did too. Without wings, without jets. Just water and fire. This is the NYC Hudson J3A Commodore Vanderbilt. The fastest steam train of its era that shook the world. 112 miles per hour. In 1938. Imagine, in that era when cars ran at 40 miles per hour, people looked at this train and thought it was flying on land. Throwing smoke, blowing its whistle, and racing on the tracks like a lion pouncing on its prey. When the engineers built it, they didn't just build an engine, they built a dream. A dream to pull the most luxurious passenger train on time and fast. It was 1927. The 20th Century Limited was already famous. But the problem was it had become too heavy. 18 coaches, every coach with luxury, dining car, bedroom, lounge, everything. The old 462 Pacific engines were failing now. The engine driver was stressed, the company was stressed, the passengers were stressed. Because when the train got late, the journey took more than 20 hours. The company's board had a meeting. They said we have to do something. Either reduce coaches or make the engine bigger. Reducing coaches meant less money. That was not an option. So the chief mechanical engineer was called. He had the sharpest mind in the company. They told him, build a machine that is fast, powerful, and can pull luxury too. He said okay, but it will take time. Research started. 11 years. For 11 years drawings were made, models were made, tests were done, they failed, then new designs were made. When the J3A launched in 1938, everyone came to see it. It was named Commodore Vanderbilt. Why that name? Because he had laid the foundation of the railway line. Building this engine in his name was a matter of pride for the company. It cost $50,000 to build one engine. In today's terms, about 1 crore rupees. But the company didn't think it was expensive because this wasn't just iron, this was status. Now let's talk about the design. What was it that made it so fast? Number 1. 4/6 wheel arrangement. In railway language, this is called Hudson type, meaning 4 small wheels at the front that keep balance on the track, 6 big driving wheels in the middle that put all the force, and 4 small wheels at the back that hold the engine's weight. This combination was perfect for running fast. The diameter of the 6 big wheels was 79 inches, meaning more than 2 meters. Bigger wheels meant more distance in one rotation. Number 2, streamlined body. The 1930s was the Art Deco era. Everything was being given an aerodynamic shape. Hudson was given the same shape. Silver color, a deep blue stripe in the middle, and a nose at the front sharp like an arrow. Cut through the air and moved out. The company called a famous designer for this design. He said an engine shouldn't just be a machine, it should be art. Number 3, boiler pressure. 275 psi. PSI means pound per square inch. That much pressure meant burn coal so fast in the furnace that water turned into steam in 1 second. Steam temperature went up to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. The firebox was so big that 2 men could stand inside. Great area 68 square feet, meaning the place to burn coal itself was that big. Cylinder 22 inch by 28 inch. When the piston moved back and forth, the whole train would shake. Engineers used to say this isn't a train, this is a rocket. Weight was 310 tons. 310 tons means 3,100 quintals. But still it danced on the track. Balance was so perfect that even at 100 miles per hour speed, water kept in a cup wouldn't spill. 1934 was the day of the test run. The engineer was told, today we have to make a record. The driver sat in the cabin, the fireman threw coal in the furnace, built up pressure, blew the whistle, and Hudson took off running. Speed meter 60, 80, 100, 105, 110, 112.5 miles per hour, 181 kilometers per hour. In the 1930s, this was rocket science. When this news was printed in newspapers, people went crazy. People lined up at stations just to see it. Someone clicked photos, someone made videos, someone just stood and watched. It would get the 20th Century Limited with 18 coaches from one coast to another in just 16 hours. Distance 960 miles, meaning average speed 60 miles per hour. It had to stop on the way, signals also came, still that speed. One driver said, when you open the throttle, it feels like the ground is shaking. The whistle sound could be heard 5 miles away. Yes, UK's Mallard made a record of 126 miles per hour in 1938. But that was a one-time record on a test track. NYC Hudson ran 100 miles per hour plus every day. In daily service. Every day. Without failing. That's why people used to say Mallard is a sprinter, Hudson is a marathon runner. Now let's talk about luxury. The coaches attached behind this engine were not ordinary. They were called the train of presidents, because presidents traveled in it. Hollywood stars also were passengers on this train. Inside the coach were velvet seats, glass chandeliers, silver plates in the dining car. Chefs were called from Europe. The ticket was so expensive that only millionaires could afford it. One ticket cost $150, 3 lakh rupees today. Kids played with its toys. A toy company made a Hudson model train which still sells for lakhs with collectors today. Its photo was printed in newspapers every day. Girls put up posters of this train in their rooms. NYC Hudson wasn't just a train, it became a status symbol. If you were traveling in the 20th Century Limited, it meant you were in the elite class. The company's marketing was also amazing. Posters would say the most famous train in the world. And on the front of the engine, it would say Commodore Vanderbilt. People didn't come to see the train, they came to see the engine. Then 1950 came and diesel engines arrived. New companies made diesel engines. Diesel was cheaper, maintenance was less, there was no smoke, no need for a fireman. One driver could run it alone. Profit for railway companies increased. Steam engines started looking old. From 1955, Hudson was slow, sidelined. By 1957, all 275 engines that were made went to the scrapyard. Imagine 310 tons of iron, which carried thousands of people, which made children happy when they saw it, was put in a crusher machine and melted down. Scrap dealers used to say this was the saddest job. The tragedy is today only one Hudson is left. Number 5344. It stands silently in a museum. The color has faded, the paint has come off, but its nose is still high. As if saying, I am still alive. The other 274 engines are gone. Some survive in photos, some in memories. When people see it in the museum, elders say we used to travel in this. When this blew its whistle, the whole city would hear it. Today the whistle is silent, the smoke is gone, but the respect is the same. So friends, Big Boy was king in power. Pulled 5,400 tons. But NYC Hudson was king in speed. 112 miles per hour in 1938. Without computers, without GPS, without automatic control. Just the engineer's hand and the fireman's coal. Technology has gone far ahead today. Bullet trains run at 300 miles per hour. But Hudson's craze is still the same. Because it fulfilled the dream of an era. If you want a Big Boy versus NYC Hudson battle to see whether power wins or speed, then write battle in the comments. I will show both racing on the track in the next video. And yes, in the next video, Super Chief versus 20th Century Limited. The battle of luxury is coming. One was known for comfort, one for speed. Which train was more luxurious, which food was better, which stars traveled, I will tell you all. Subscribe to the channel because the train story isn't over yet. Behind every engine there's a story. Behind every whistle there's a passion.